Hello, dear first year students. Welcome to English classroom. I am S. Srikanth, Assistant Professor of English. Today we'll take up a very important topic which is very useful to our life. As students, you must inculcate certain things in order to be successful in human life. Yes. What is it? What is the topic? Yes, we are taking up value orientation, value education towards life. So in today's class, we'll take up two important values which will be very useful for our life in this video. Okay, let's go. So value orientation is very important aspect which is a part of our curriculum as well. So values are very important. Tell me why values are important? Because if we practice values earlier on in our life, during our school days, if we learn some values, our family teaches certain values, our school teaches certain values. Even at this level, at the graduation level also, we teach certain values as a part of curriculum as well, because a lot of importance is attached to value education. Values should be learnt and inculcated properly and scrupulously by each one of us. So if you practice values, then the values will guide us through our life's problems, and we can easily overcome problems and lead a successful life. And if we don't follow any values, if a person lives his life without any values, what happens? The life gives him so many blows. First, life gives mild blows, then afterwards, if he fails to learn lessons from the failures, then life gives more harder blows. So it's very important that you are receiving blows, life is teaching you something. So what you have to do? You have to go back to your basics, which you have learned during your childhood, what your parents and grandparents have taught you, what our culture has taught us. Okay, all these things constitute values. We need to follow values. Without any values, definitely you will end up being a okay huge failure in your life. So without values, we succumb to situations and pressures. Yes. Okay. Any situation arises, if you don't have values, you don't know how to address that situation, how to tackle that situation, you will succumb to the pressure. You will succumb to the situation, and you'll go on making mistakes after mistakes, and you turn out to be a great, problem to yourself, your family, and your society. So life without values is like a dry leaf. Have you observed dry leaves? They just fall from the trees and they drift away when the wind blows. Even for the smallest of air, even for simple air, small breeze, they go on drifting away in whatever direction that the air takes them. On the other hand, if you have values in your life, you are like a shooted or guided arrow trying to reach, trying to hit the target. So be a person with values. Okay, the values will take you to the right position, will take you towards your goals, and they will guide you in the right direction. So that's very important. So hence it is inevitable to subscribe to at least a few values from the lives of great people. For example, we follow Gandhiji. He followed the principle of honesty. He followed the principle of non-violence. These are certain values. Indian culture has certain values. We love peace, that is a value. We love our neighbors, that's a value. So, as human beings, we must have certain values to live peacefully in the society and let others live peacefully in the society. Right. Let's go to the first value that we'll take up today. Right. Okay. The first value is well begun is half done. Yes. Generally, people say that beginning is half done, but not just the beginning. Everybody begin the work. Ordinary people also begin the work. Most of the people apply for civil services, but they come back as a miserable failure just by writing the preliminary examination. And some people, they prepare well, they work according to their plans, they execute their plans, and also go up to the next level, mains level. And some other people also cross that hurdle and finally reach to the interview level. And some people fail at that stage, and only a few people get through that interview and finally end up becoming civil servants. Got the point? So that means those who have begun the work with a lot of preparation. For example, don't start the work right from the word go. No, you can't just start the work like that. It should be well begun. What you have to do is, for example, you are writing a civil services examination. If you want to become a collector, if you want to become a secretary and work for the government, then you have to pass the civil services examinations. So before you take the prelims examinations, you require a solid preparation of more than 1 year. 1 year. Okay, if you start your preparation for the last 1 month, you will just cross preliminary examination. If you start preparing for the examination for the last 6 months, you will cross the second level. If you start preparing for the last 1 year, you will cross even the third level, provided you have other skills and tools, other skills and proficiencies. So that's how it goes. So there are two phases to it. Before you begin the work, there should be proper planning, there should be sincerity, there should be dedication, there should be hard work, and finally you begin. So before we go into the topic, there are two pictures I have collected for you. So what does this first picture say? There is an old saying, well begun is half done. It is a bad one. In this quotation, he or she is saying that well begun is half done is not properly correct all the time, because I would use instead not begun at all till half done. You have to go, you have to reverse that again. Okay, when you have undertaken some work, if you have not completed the work midway, okay, without completing the work to the half of the extent, then you should consider that you have not begun the work at all. Only after completing the work up to 50%, then only you should consider that you have begun some work. But normally we think that we apply for a job and we think that we have begun. No. Suppose running race is going on, you just go and stand in the line and compete with all the competitors. You think that you also started running. No, you will end up being the last one in the race. Life is like a running race. You have to begin with lot of energy and preparation, execution, planning. All must go into it. Yes. So you should consider yourself that unless you have completed half of the work, you shouldn't consider that you have not begun at all. So it is another picture. An athlete, how does he look like? He's well dressed up and he has bulging muscles, his head downwards. He's keen to hear the whistle, blowing of the whistle, because he wants to start his race. And he took his position well. He is well shoed up. Everything is executed. Everything he has done before he takes the race. So that is the preparation. For example, Olympics happen every 4 years. Of course, now This year 2020 they are not happening because of coronavirus, but still Olympics is a platform where athletes from all across the world compete. Okay, they would be working for the past 4 years. Okay, the margin for error would be minimal, so they'll be competing with high standards. So we'll go to the next one. We'll continue the same topic. So what are the important things in order to inculcate this value? You have to understand certain things about this value of well beginning is half done. What you have to do, there are two parts to it in order to be successful. Planning in advance. Suppose you want to do some work, you are undertaking some project. So you have to plan in advance. Okay. And you have to work hard for that, whatever you require to do that work. All the things that you have to collect for executing that work, you need to collect them. It is a very hard and a painstaking process and time consuming. It takes a lot of time from us. Okay, so it is very time consuming. The first part is planning. So if you have completed this part with a lot of hard work and energy, then second part becomes very easy. Execution, it will be smooth sailing. It consumes less time. For example, you write your exam for 3 hours, right? But if you have prepared for the exam for the last 1 year and you have prepared your notes, practiced it, revised it, understood the model of the question paper, then writing the 3 hour examinations would be very easy. You have not taken the pains of preparing, collecting material, practicing, revising, you will end up as an average student or a failure. You will end up with average marks. Sometimes you might even fail. So very thought of beginning something means half the work is done. You have to, okay, all the work starts from a thought. It begins from a thought. So you should think that you must work. That is the beginning. But no, that's not the right beginning. It should be begun. First, you must, everything, it should originate in your mind that you should achieve something. I must become a civil servant. I must become a postgraduate in mathematics, something like that. And the thought is the beginning of the work. The beginning should be well begun, not just if you go apply and you say that I didn't get the seat, not enough. Okay, dedication. After you got the thought at the thought level you are clear that you want to achieve it. Then what requires from you is dedication and sincerity are important before beginning something. You have to have that big dedication and sincerity. Check yourself whether I have the patience to prepare, whether I have the patience for working hard for 1 year, whether I have the patience and hardworking nature work for 6 to 10 hours a day. That's very important. Otherwise, we stop working with many excuses and problems. If you don't have these qualities of hardworking and patience, then we end up, okay, complaining, end up showing some excuses and problems. No, it's not working for me. No, this problem has come. I am from a rural background. I am from a very poor background. You go on showing excuses and excuses. For hardworking people, there are no excuses. Yes. So you should have dedication, sincerity, not just thought is not enough. So in today's competitive world, there is cutthroat competition in every sphere, in every activity. Okay, whether it's education or agriculture or business, there is cutthroat competition. What you need to do is you have to work hard and know about the things, collect all the information, then only you jump. Okay, beginning is not just the beginning. Beginning means you have done half the work for last 6 months or 1 year, then you, okay, initiate the work, then you can face any problem that comes your way. So this is an important value that we should practice in our life. Okay, you should do all the hard work. Keep everything ready, then start doing it. Then you will, okay, accomplish success. You will complete the task very, very easily. So most people end up being failures because they have not done their homework properly. So beginning means doing all the homework, right? So making a presentation for there, I have given you two situations wherein you require to begin the work in a decent way. But one is making a presentation on a topic. Suppose I am making a presentation on value orientation. It's not enough that I just open and start recording. Not enough. I should have the material. I should have the content. I should have gone through this topic again and again and again. And finally, I'll be able to deliver the topic, deliver the presentation in a smooth way. This 15 or 20 minutes presentation requires at least 2 or 3 hours of preparation. Unless you have that, you cannot go and complete the task successfully. And another situation, attending an interview is another situation, attending an interview, right? First one is making a presentation on a topic. So attending an interview, you require to know about the organization, what are the questions that you are going to ask, what kind of interview it's going to be, who would be the members of the panel, who would be asking the question, how you should sit, how you enter the hall, how you should behave yourself, your body language, not forgetting with the things when you are giving the interview. Okay, how your facial expression should be there, what should be the verbal and non-verbal communication, all these aspects, not just your subject, the way you dress yourself, the way you keep your hair, the way you keep your hands and legs during the interview, all these elements go into a successful interview. So well beginning means not just the beginning. It requires lot of planning and lot of dedication and hard work in order to begin that. Unless you have completed 50% of the work, you should think that you haven't begun yet. Yes, this is very, very important value that you should practice in your life. So shall we go to the next value? Yes, doubt is the beginning of wisdom. This is the second value, right? Second value. The first one is well begun is half done, right? So doubt. What happens here? Tell me. We get doubts so many times during the classroom, outside the classrooms. So this doubting is very, very important. So I have given you a picture here. Yes, doubt is the beginning of wisdom. As you can see in the picture, there are so many questions being cropped up from the head, popping up from the head. These are popcorn questions. When you look at a gadget, new gadget, electronic gadget, you get so many questions. This tendency of asking questions, getting doubts, this curiosity, this inquisitiveness, nature is very, very important for our development in life. So most Indian texts or scriptures say that all wisdom begins with questions. This is called in Sanskrit Mimamsa. You ask the questions. If you get the answers, you develop. So by questioning, we reach at the bottom of the topic. By constant questioning, repeated questioning, you will reach the bottom. Bottom means you will become knowledgeable. You will gain total knowledge about the topic or subject. So this curiosity and querulousness, query means querulousness. You ask questions. Constant questioning on all aspects leads to answers and finally wisdom. By asking questions and doubting, and when you doubt, you get answers. When you get answers, then you gain wisdom. So asking questions is the pathway to reaching wisdom. The same thing applies to a classroom. In a classroom, if students ask questions, the teacher goes on answering them, and other students also get benefited. And end of the day, most of the students will gain by asking questions and also clarifying their doubts in a classroom. That's very, very important. So if you ask more and more questions, if you clarify more and more topics about a subject, what happens? What happens? You do not forget the subject for a longer time. That becomes, that gets ingrained into your brain. The subject becomes your own, and you will become an expert on the subject. Yes, so that is, asking questions is very, very important. And continuing with this, human beings are more inquisitive of all species on the planet due to power of reasoning and communication. Yes, you know that we are human beings. We have the power of inquisitive nature. Okay, we are the species which who have most inquisitive of all the species. Okay, even gorillas, monkeys, they are inquisitive. They look at things very curiously when we throw some object at the animals. But more curious, most curious of all, okay, species on the planet Earth are human beings. They have the power of reasoning and communication. Because of these two mental faculties, we have more inquisitiveness of all the species. So this ability to question life around us led to science, development of science. We questioned life from the very beginning. Okay, the caveman, the Stone Age man, Neanderthal man, all these people question nature, why this is happening. Questioning life around led to science, scientific developments. Even Newton found the three laws of nature. Why something is, any object thrown up is falling down. When he was sitting under a tree, apple tree, an apple fell on his head, and he thought why it fell, why it didn't escape into space. That led to so many inventions. Newton laws of motion. Same is the case with Einstein, a great physicist. All these people contributed to science because they have doubts at the first position. So all human discoveries and inventions germinated from the seed of doubt. There is a seed, from the seed of doubt, all human discoveries. Okay, say it is internet or electricity bulb, steam engine, aeroplane, whatnot. All have been invented or discovered through this quality of inquisitive nature and doubting. Okay, there is a seed of doubt before we actually invented. There is a story of Alexander Graham Bell, the great scientist who met a Howard, who is the inventor of telephone. From the very beginning, he has very great inquisitive nature. So at the age of 11, yes, at the age of 11, he invented dehusking machine. So his friend's family has a wheat farm, and it was very difficult for them to separate husk from the wheat, from wheat, which he have produced. So with the available tools at home, he invented a machine. That machine helped separate husk from the wheat. So invented dehusking machine at the very tender age of 11 years. And he also invented telephone, okay, by successfully transmitting human speech through a wire on 10th March 1876. Before that, when he was experimenting on to find out the secrets of transmitting multiple information through a wire, one of his assistants was trying to reactivate certain signals through a wire, and he heard the sound of a wire being plucked, and he got curious, and he got, you know, assurance that he would also transmit human voice through the wire. Finally, he ended up transmitting human voice through a wire. First, he got the patent for that in the year 1876 on March 7th. After, within a span of Within a span of 3 days, he invented telephone by successfully transmitting human voice on 10th March 1896, and invented so many things actually. He invented a precursor to photophone. Photo means light, okay? Sending the sound signals to light, which is a precursor to modern day air conditioner. And it is also a precursor to today's fiber optics network, which is very, very vital to our communication system. And he and his son-in-law took over National Geographic company, and they founded National Geographic magazine, so which is very, very one of the prestigious magazines in the world. There is a channel called National Geographic channel, which was taken over by him some 150 years before. And he also founded a world reputed magazine called Science Magazine. Everybody gives lot of respect to Science Magazine. You might find it in the libraries. So this how our doubting, our questioning, our inquisitive nature are extremely important for us to get answers for crucial questions in our life, which leads to these answers lead to wisdom. After living a life of wisdom is an accomplishment. You will become a successful person. Thank you all for listening to me. These two important values, well begun is often, and doubt is the beginning of wisdom, right? I hope you all follow these values in your life. I hope you ask questions. I hope you put in all hard work before you start any work and be successful. Thank you all for listening. Do like, share, and subscribe this video. Thank you.